Hey guys, this is your solving multi-step equation video here. So multi-step, that means more than one step that we're going to take. So basically we're taking more than two steps here. This is going to take more than two. And the basis of what we're trying to do is we're trying to get these things, our objectives here is we're trying to get them into a two-step equation. And if you can get it into a two-step equation, you can do your start, change, and finish and solve for that. So there's more than two steps that we'll need to do, and you can get it into a two-step equation and then solve just using start, change, and finish again, just like it normally was. But the steps that involve in the beginning are the things that you got to do first. And we always got to look for things as such as distributive property and combine like terms. We do that first, and then out pops a two-step equation. So the first step that we need to do here is to solve our two-step multi-step equation is you need to first check for our distributive property. And if you remember what distributive property is, that means that is multiplying everything in the parentheses. So if you find the parentheses, you know you got distributive property. After you do distributive property, you need to combine like terms. Combining like terms are anything that are alike that have the same variable or numbers by either adding or subtracting. After you do those, then out pops a two-step problem. And you use the two-step problem method, either the organizer Ms. Laslina showed you or the start, change, and finish. And you can solve that problem after that. So those are your steps that you use to solve these. And so we have to be able to know how to do those, to be able to get down to the two-step problem. If you do that, then wham bam, thank you ma'am, we're ready for it. Okay? So let's practice a little bit about distributive property and combining like terms. If you look at the first ones, I'm going to do 1, 3, and 5. I'm going to allow you to do 2, 4, and 6. So if you do number 1, you can see here that we have parentheses. Here's your parentheses. That tells me right there that this 3 outside is multiplying everything on the inside. And that is a distributive property. So distribute, I'm going to do 3 times 2, 6x, and then 3 times a negative 5, which gives me negative 15. And there's my solution. It's been simplified. Okay, if I do another one here, I look at number 3, because remember you're going to do 2, 4, and 6. Number 3, I look here, I don't see any parentheses, so distributive property is out. But I have some things that are alike. I have a 6x and a 2x, and I have a 2 and a negative 3. So I can put those together and simplify it. So this is combining like terms. So combining 6x plus 2x will give me 6x plus the 2x will give me 8x. 2 take away 3 give me negative 1. And so I put these together, my simplified term is 8x minus 1. And I'm done. So that is basically a combining like terms. I combine my two variable terms together, combine my two coefficient terms, my two constant terms together. Number 5, we take a look at number 5. You've got a 3x plus 2 parentheses 3x minus 1. There's the parentheses right there. So you should remember that that parentheses means that this 2 is being multiplied by everything inside. So I got to take my step 1 says I need to distribute. So distributing would be 2 times 3, 2 times negative 1. So 2 times 3 is 6. and it has an x with it. 2 times -1 is -2. And then I have this, it's just going to come down, plus 3x. I never touched that 3x, so it's still there. I got to remember that. So the first step was distributing. So I'm not done quite yet because I still need to clean this up a little bit. I have two terms that are alike. I have my 3x term and my 6x term. So I'm going to combine like terms. When I combine those two together, 3x plus 6x gives me 9x, take away 2. Those will be your solution there for you. So those are the two terms that are together and as there. So just to practice with distributing property and combine like terms. So I would like for you to try 2, 4, and 6. Write down what you're doing. Is this distributive property or combine like terms? Is this combine like terms or distributive property? Maybe you got to do both here. See if you can simplify those. If you would like to check with me at the end, after you finish these, I will let you see if you got these correct and you can move on. So I'm not going to do 2, 4, and 6. But that's how you would do distributive property and combine like terms. Okay? But you said, Mr. O, after I did distributive property and combine like terms, I'd have a two-step problem to solve. Well, you do. But these right here are not two-step. You'll have a two-step problem to solve afterwards because something will equal it. And this is what we're going to look like on the back. So do 2, 4, and 6 first, then go to the back. All right? So now that you're on your back here, take a look at what's happening. Remember your steps. We're going to put it all together. We're going to put our distributing property together with the combined like terms and then solving a two-step equation. These are all two-step equations. These are all equations because they have the equal sign. So these are where I need to use my steps, and I can get it down to a two-step equation. So if I look at the first one here, 3 times x plus 2 is equal to 20. I have parentheses. Those parentheses tell me I need to do the distributive property first. And I just do 3 times x, 3 times 2. That gives me 3x plus 6 is equal to 20. This is a two-step problem. I have no more combining like terms. I now have my two-step. And now I can solve it, setting up my start, change, and finish. Finish is 20. Start is plus 6. Change is 3x. Solve that problem by subtracting 6. And then by dividing by 3 on both sides. And I end up getting x is equal to 14 over 3. Who cares if we got a fraction? The key is, what did we do? We took our original problem. First step was to distribute.
Jason,
we have distributing property because of our,
if you're in the building, call 0.
We have our parentheses. So we distributed 3x times in 3 times 2. Got our two-step problem, put it in our thing, and went forward. Okay? Let's look at number 2. Number 2 is not a two-step problem because I have 2 x's. It doesn't look like this. So what I need to do first is go through my steps. Do I have any parentheses for distributing property? No, no distributing property. Do I have any combined like terms? Well, I do. I'm going to combine like terms right here. I have a 6 and a 2. I'm going to combine those together. When I combine those together, I get 6x plus 2x gives me 8x equals 18. Now, is this a two-step problem? It sure is. It's got one x variable, it's got a constant, and it's got something that's equal to it. So that's a two-step problem. And I can do my start, change, and finish. Finish is 18, change is 8x, the start is 10. All I need to do now is to move this plus over by subtracting, and then divide by the 8x on both sides, and it gives me my x is 1. That's it. Let's try a couple more. All right. If I do a couple more here, like on number 3. Let's look at number 3. 77 is equal to x plus 7x plus 5. First step is look for distributive property. That's the ones with the parentheses. Do I have any parentheses here? No, no parentheses, so I don't need to distribute. Second step I look for is combine like terms. What terms are alike? Well, I have a 1x here, and I have a 7x right here. Those terms are alike. So I can combine those together, and I get 77 is equal to 8x plus 5. And that right there is my two-step problem. I can set it up in my organizer. 77, 8x, 5, and then solve. I'll let you solve that one. Okay, you should need to practice the solving it. Don't just skip it because Mr. O's is not on here. Solve it. Okay, I'm going to do another one here, number 4. Number 4 is the same way. Check your steps. Distribute first. Look for the parentheses. Do I have any? Oh, there they are. So this tells me I need to do some distributing. So I want to distribute first. When I do that, it's 2 times negative 3. It's negative 6x. 2 times 8, which will give me 16, will be equal to 76. Do I have any combined like terms here? I don't, do I? All these terms are the same. So all this is right here, my two-step problem. And I'm good to go to set it up and solve away. 76, 16, negative 6x. That's plus, so you subtract. That's times, so you would divide. Wham, bam, there it is. Okay. Number 5, last example here. Just go through the steps again. Do you have distributive property? Well, I do. I got my parentheses. So I'm distributing with 3 times 4, 3 times negative 7. So it gives me 12x. 3 times a negative 7 is negative 21 equals 51. There's my two-step problem. I can put it in my start, change, and finish. And when I do so, using my correct signs, that's what it looks like, and then I can solve that. Call me over and check these when you get done with your two-step problem. It's how you work there as you go. Okay? I have one last example I'm going to leave you with. Okay? Remember your steps on this one. 1, distribute. Parentheses. 2, combine like terms. 3, two-step problem, which is your start, change, and finish. I will tell you, you're going to do distributing property and combine like terms on this one. So look for your distributive property, look for your combine like terms, and then set it up in your two-step problem and see how you can do that. Come over and ask if you got that one right, so you know that you've got those correct. Okay? See what you can do. Thank you very much.